Bienvenue tout le monde à une entrevue de la planète Kino. On va voyager à travers la planète Kino. On va passer d'une cellule à l'autre. Il y a plus d'une quarantaine de cellules à travers le monde. Donc, on va aujourd'hui rencontrer Vincent Valentino de Kino Ottawa et Kino Gatineau. I'll switch to English because this interview will be in English. It will have French subtitles. And so, as I was saying in French, we're going to travel around the Kino planet with these interviews. We're going to get a snapshot of what's going on in all these cities that have Kino groups. And so I'm really happy to have you with us. And we will meet today Vincent Valentino, who is organizing the Kino Cell in Ottawa. So, welcome, Vincent. How are you doing?
Hello, thank you so much. I'm doing well. I'm still alive. That's always a bonus.
That's cool. That's cool. So, we will get into the weeds of what it is to organize a Kino Cell later in this interview. But at first, all the members or the people of the public that don't know about Kino and that don't know about you guys, they just want to know, what is Kino Ottawa? What do you do? What are your activities? How many people are in there?
Oh, absolutely. Kino is a great thing. It started about 2.5 years ago here. We've had a lot of festivals and socials, but we wanted something more regular every month where people can get together in a safe space and encourage one another. Not to go over it too long, but I found that there was a lot of clicky groups here and gatekeeping where new people weren't encouraged to make films and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
everyone has the right to express themselves creatively and push themselves in a safe space. So we wanted to create a space where everyone would feel like a movie star for one night. So once a month, everyone makes a film based on a theme.
Okay.
But it's not just that. We make a theme reveal video every month. It's a little comedic skit that's about 2-3 minutes long, and it shows what the next theme is. And we invite
Ah,
new people
okay.
to participate in that.
Okay.
So we screen about 5-6 films, and then we invite the filmmakers and actors to come on stage and talk about their films and feel excited about it and answer all these amazing questions. And then we take a break, and it's also a networking event where people get to socialize and we introduce people, and people meet writers, filmmakers, actors. And then we screen the other 5-6 films, go on stage, and then we always have an after party where we extend the evening. We go out, we have even more fun. People come from outside of town. People come from Montreal just to experience this wonderful close event. And it's not just the same people that keep showing up. It's always new people as well. So we have about 30% new people show up at Kino
Okay.
every month. They have a wonderful experience and they want to come back. And it's not just about the movie. It's about creating, maintaining, and building a community that feels good.
And do you have like, do people, you say they network, they also network to work on each other's films, or
Absolutely,
yeah?
absolutely. And people who don't have any idea where to start, but they've always wanted to write stories and make films, this is the stepping stone. You come out, we'll figure it out.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So, how many, uh, like, what would be like the average attendance? Well, we have photos. We could check we can check some photos here.
But
Um,
that's a good question because we have a small space that has a maximum of 72 people, and we reach capacity most times. And I love the small space because it feels good saying I've made it to Kino. My film is screening there, and there's an intimacy in the small space that is lost on big screens.
yeah, absolutely. So now I'm looking. Yeah, we can see the space. That's very. It's cozy. It's friendly. You know, in Montreal when we started, we also had like I think it was 80 places. The first year we were moving around in all sorts of spaces, but
Oh
then we
wow.
settled in our first space, which was about the size that I'm seeing on your photographs right now. And just to get a little idea of who you are and how did you get involved like this? And do you make films yourselves? I guess the
Oh
teasers you do
absolutely.
yourself, or
Absolutely. I make a lot of films. I used to run a lot of photography communities. I created a lot of communities back in the day when when photography became accessible. And then when that novelty kind of faded, I moved on to filmmaking, when it became accessible for the average person. And in Ottawa, there's a lot of, again, gatekeepers, people who speak with an air of authority, said, if you don't have the education, the training, you have no business in
Really?
here. There's a lot of, it's still, right? Because I understand people suffer for their craft.
Yeah.
They've invested a lot of time, money, education, and then all of a sudden Joe Schmo comes along with an iPhone and he makes better films than you, because the one element you can't learn is art and ideas and storytelling. So they became a lot jaded. So what they do to gain that power is they close the doors, gatekeeping. So for me, is I'm opening the doors. And over time, we had the majority. Over time, there's more people coming out and saying, hey, I want to participate in this. I want to be the best version of me I can. I want to learn, grow, make mistakes, but continuously learn. I love making films. Oh, sorry, I know I'm talking too much. I love making films.
No, you're not talking too much. You're giving us the gist of but
yeah.
Go ahead. Finish your idea.
I've done a lot of films. I've done feature films, but I'm not a big fan of making the feature films because I like moving on a project, leaving it behind, moving on a next adventure.
Okay, so you're a bit of a hyperactive guy.
Yeah,
you
but
got a lot of energy.
Yeah, I do, and things come easy to me. I've done about now 620 short films, and I go from very funny to very dramatic, and I like both those extremes because life is sad, and to be vulnerable and share these intimate moments, we start conversations with people, and it's an amazing thing.
Okay.
I am into filmmaking because I am lonely, and I find it an amazing way to connect with human beings.
It is absolutely. And do you have? We'll look at some more photos here because we have photos of you guys when you talk about on stage with the people, so we can see you're interviewing participants.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is there a link between your Kino group and the film schools? Are there any film schools in Ottawa or Gatineau?
No film schools, but
Okay.
we have a lot of training for actors.
Okay. Oh, really? So so it's more like a really true grassroots movement.
Mm.
Is that right? Am I wrong by saying that?
Absolutely. And we do some small workshops where we talk about stuff and we learn all together.
Okay.
There's a lot of reasons why people want to make films, and a lot of different people come into it. You know, some people are perfectionists, and then they quickly realize that filmmaking is problem solving and letting go.
Yeah.
Art is the medium that helps them discover things about themselves.
Yeah. And tell me more about the workshops. So how many do you organize, and what do they look like? What's the experience like?
Well, we have a couple people come out. We do some for kids. We do some from adults. We do some from all stages. And we show how to make a film. We talk about,
Okay, so people can. So it's like a course.
It's definitely a course.
Like you register to it, you pay a fee, and you participate.
Oh, it's free. It's free.
Oh,
We're not into money. Yeah. And we actually show people how to edit.
Okay.
On the projector as well. So it's not just theory, it's practice.
And when you say are you many professors or helpers, or I don't know, how do you?
Absolutely. I mean, it's I say we because if I just say me, it sounds kind of pretentious. But we do have we invite a lot of professionals in the field, like professional sound people, professional writers, professional things.
Okay.
So we always have like guest speakers come and do a presentation.
Okay, cool. Because you're aware that there's many Kino cabarets that are organized around the world, and many of them have different formulas or different formats. So and in many cities, the Kino movement is mostly known for the Kino cabaret events.
Yes.
And we can understand why. It's because in some events you get some resources and people register because they want to have access to this. It's like both a network of people, but also maybe a few lights, maybe a few cameras or whatever. And so that's why people talk about it in that sense. But but it's really nice to hear from you that you're building a community, because the true strength of the Kino movement is the community.
Mm,
Because when you have a film idea and you want to do something, if you're alone, it's really daunting. It's like
yeah.
seems impossible. So having a network of people that they know the deal, they know that I'll help you, help me, I'll help you, and that just makes things much simpler.
There's absolute comfort in the company of other people, and the beautiful thing about the kinos that I do is that it's not just about the films. Films is just a medium to start a conversation. We have people cry on stage because they feel comfortable. They share these emotional, vulnerable moments with us. And filmmaking is not just about making the film; it's about finding your voice, and that's what is enforced at our kino. It's therapy.
Yeah, it's true that now that image has become a real medium of communication for everyone, because people, they do stories on their phones,
Yeah,
they send a FaceTime to a family member, and um and a lot of the younger ones are really good. I mean, they start editing just because they want to do cool stuff for their friends. And so it is a language that needs to be owned by everybody, not just professional filmmakers.
yeah.
And it demystifies also. It makes them more savvy regarding, the
Absolutely.
media, or regarding whatever they see online.
Yeah,
They,
absolutely. Gets them in touch with all sorts of art mediums because we're talking writing, pacing, editing, filmmaking, photography as a moving picture, music composition, directing, working with other actors,
yeah,
bring the best in people. It encompasses all art forms in one little package.
yeah, exactly. And it, I could have been attracted to other art forms, and I went to cinema because I like people, and it's fun to collaborate and to create
Yeah,
this momentum in a group of people to achieve a goal, an artistic goal. It's life changing for many people, for most people, I think. So I
yeah.
just now let's maybe where we're sort of drawing to the end of the interview, and I want for the Kino organizers out there, uh, let's get into the weeds a bit of how your group, is how do you, who are your allies? How do you make this thing, not become a subject for burnout? Because a lot of Kino organizers, they do it for the passion and the mission for maybe a year or two, and then they get a bit tired. It's a lot of investment of time and
Yeah,
energy, and
yeah.
I always wonder, what's your mix?
Definitely low standards. Have low standards and things will be easier. I run a lot of other festivals as well, and I recently started a French kino in Gatineau. That's
Okay.
how it gets new. And we're starting a French kino in there. We're trying to build a totally different community because it's totally different people, and it's hard to find French filmmakers. And for the most part, a lot of them right now are using film as a soapbox
Okay.
to share
Okay.
and push their political points. And we're trying to, yes, you can do that, but at the same time, you have a responsibility to an audience. It's a whole mess. We're trying to like
It's
have
interesting.
people let go a bit and tell more vulnerable stories and not hide behind their camera. So we're
Are they younger people that do that, or
all ages.
all ages?
Uh,
Okay, but
yeah, yeah,
I like the intent that they want to change the
yeah.
world,
They
but
do.
a film, doing a pamphlet is communications, and it can be
Yeah.
interesting to do that, but if you want to change the world,
Mhm.
you'd better make films that last, that you can watch
Absolutely.
again in 5 years and still find something useful to them.
Absolutely. What we believe and strongly do is lead by example instead of shame other people for their views. And that's a constant struggle when people have the soapbox of a film. They need to yell in an oversaturated market and get their voices heard. And it's
Hmm.
just like, well, and that's what we started with the Kino is people have such a wonderful, warm experience and they want to come back. It's like a drug. It's a high. They
Yeah,
come
yeah,
back and
yeah, yeah.
experience that again. And that is over time a community and leading by example
Yeah,
as well.
okay, I can see that. And
Yeah.
on the more pragmatic
Mhm.
sense, like, do you have some finance I don't know how to say in English.
Some
Financement?
funding. No, 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 put financement. What we do is it's out of my pocket, you know, but I do it because I absolutely adore it, you know, and it needs to be accessible.
And what's your day job? I mean, you need to live on something.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of part-time jobs. I'm not a very rich person. I don't make a lot of money. I'm actually poor. I live in a subsidized apartment in a cooperative, but I
And
do it.
do you lend your talents like a videographer? Do you have contracts as a in that sphere, or you do all sorts of other
No,
things?
I do everything for volunteer for my community because I love the people. I'm actually producing two shows for Bell Television right now, so
Okay.
it's going to be an exciting 2 months coming up. And I'm not making money from this. It's about reaching out, and making people feel good and included. So one of the Bell shows is focusing on the French Kino, so that's going to come out soon.
Okay, that's cool. So that
Yeah.
will be coming out online?
Yes, on Bell 5.
Bell 5. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So just okay, okay. So because a lot of a lot of Kino cells they get born and they surf on the energy of the organizers for a while, and after a few years either somebody else takes over and you
Yeah.
find someone that has the same passion and that wants to come in and help, or they become associations, or organizations with a bit of government funding, or maybe it's the city or whatever, or sometimes it's
Yeah.
even having some
Oh
beer
yeah.
guy give you some beer that you sell, and you make a little money off that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it helps the groups last, because
Oh
it is a challenge, like.
Absolutely, and I'm here to tell you, it's not going anywhere. I've been running festivals for 10 years. I run a horror festival, a comedy festival, a pet festival.
Okay.
And I'm not going anywhere. I can last forever. They'll
Okay.
have to
Okay. I
like
see.
jump off the wall, and it's
You're a
not-
juggler.
yeah,
So,
because I get a lot out of it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't get something out of it. And it seems like a beautiful symbiotic relationship I have with the people in my community. So I'm here to stay.
oh, that's really cool. And so, if somebody from Kino or not just needs to go to Ottawa or Gatineau for a, how do they find you, and what's the frequency of the screenings, or.
Oh, that's well, the English Kino is every month, and the French Kino is every 2 months for now until we're trying to build more volume. We also have socials,
Yeah.
which about 80 people show up throughout an evening. It's normally in the middle of the month. There's one next week.
Okay.
And it's because some people don't, they love Kino, but as a festival or as a screening, we have a responsibility to the audience because it is a captive audience, and we have a power there,
Yeah.
a narrative power. We can have people, we can force them to sit down and pay attention. I'm not a big fan of that. A lot of people don't want to see short films. Let's be honest. At these festivals, it's mostly the filmmakers, their family, their friends. It's a circle jerk, all right? And it's not for the lack of trying. I've tried. I've had big festivals on themes like horror and stuff, and I've tried to get the general public out. It's not something that is
Yeah.
is
It's
easy.
niche.
Yeah, it's very niche.
Yeah.
So we have these socials as well for people who don't feel constricted and have to be a captive audience and sit down for 2 hours. So
Okay.
that's why we show 5 films first, and then we talk, and then we have so much fun on stage.
Mm-hmm.
That is the beauty of the Kino, is we're not just selling the screening. It's about coming on and participating in the discussions. And people drink alcohol. Like let's be real about this. When there's alcohol involved, people have more fun. Like we record the conversations on screen.
You can
We
also
record
have fun drinking
it's
Kool-Aid.
true, it's true, it's true. But we do record them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we post them online, so people get to see themselves on screen and they get to share in these amazing moments when they can't be there in person, and they see that energy like, oh, I want to be out on stage. I want this to be me.
And
It's a
so,
wonderful
so
experience.
we'll put the links in the description,
Yeah,
of course, of this video. So the first place they need to look at to get the next date.
absolutely. We have a Facebook group called Ottawa Filmmakers, and it seems like it's the unofficial portal of film in Ottawa. Everything happens there. All our events, our socials, our kinos, everything is posted there.
Okay, cool.
Ottawa Filmmakers.
Excellent. And last question, because maybe some Kino members from around the world, they would like to come to one of your screenings and maybe even come with a film. Is that a possibility?
Absolutely. We often show films from other places. Absolutely.
Okay,
You
cool.
know,
And so
and
they just
sometimes
need to get in touch with you and
absolutely Vincent Valentino on Facebook, or you can send a message through our official Kino website, which is ottawafilmmakers.ca.
okay, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll put all
Ottawa.
these links in the description. And I think that once you feel you've given a lot of energy in your year, stay vigilant because there's a lot of great Kino cabarets around the world,
Mhm.
and I think that you would be really having a blast in one of those as a present to you for your
Oh,
hard work. Because it's great to be in those events without having to organize them once in a while.
absolutely, absolutely. I've never seen another Kino. I don't leave Ottawa. I mean, I think,
Okay, we'll try to
but
fix.
I am very excited. Actually, in 3 weeks, I'm visiting Toronto
Oh,
for the first time
cool.
because I started. I'm seeing a lady friend. Lady friend, what is it? My girlfriend.
A friend, a
You know,
friend.
it's not like we met behind the Dairy Queen or anything. No, a friend, my girlfriend. It sounds weird saying girlfriend when you're 47 years old. My girlfriend, uh, and she comes from Toronto, but it's okay because I'm sure she's a nice person anyway. So we're going to Toronto, and I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're going to Toronto, and she's going to introduce me to the scene and stuff like that. And I might get in touch with the Kino cell there and
Yeah,
see if
yeah.
they'll,
Well,
they'll
that's
yeah.
that's really cool. I'm going to meet them very soon. We'll do an interview as well. And for the people that are watching this interview, since we're wrapping up, there
Yeah,
will
yeah,
be some other interview popping up on the screen right
yeah.
now. So if you want to keep doing the travel around the planet Kino, just
Oh,
just
very
listen to a
nice.
new interview and keep traveling. And maybe,
I'd love to, and I could see these somewhere afterwards.
yeah, you
I
will.
would love
They
to
will be
hear
on my,
everyone.
yeah, they will be on my YouTube channel and on Kino Montreal's YouTube channel. They will stay there.
Kino Montreal.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. I love Montreal. Oh, the original Sin City. Come on, people.
C'est
It's
ça.
such an amazing city.
Exactement, that's true.
Oh, c'est ma ville préférée.
All right. Ben
Yeah.
merci. Merci
Oh,
beaucoup pour cette belle rencontre.
oh, merci beaucoup pour votre temps.
C'était
Je pratique
super.
mon français. Ça fait longtemps que depuis que j'ai parlé français. Je pratique mon français. Je suis franco-ontarien, mais j'ai bien de la misère à cause ça fait des années depuis que j'ai parlé français.
Ouais,
So.
ouais, t'es pas pire, t'es pas pire. C'est
Oh,
c'est-
merci.
c'est bien, je trouve. C'est bien parti. So,
Allez, parti.
thanks again and see you somewhere on the Kino planet.
I will. Thank you so much for everything. We'll talk soon.
Bye
Bye.
bye.